Hey everyone, and welcome back to my Completionist playthrough of the Baldur's Gate Saga with SCS. And we have plenty to do now in Athgatla. We'll see how much of it we're going to be able to accomplish in this episode, but first we need to pick up this mission from Guardian Telvin that he mentioned to us in the last episode.
I have a duty for you to perform.
Apparently the Temple of Lathander have asked for assistance of the Helmites in their dispute with the worshippers of Talos. And the members of the Temple of Helm have remained neutral thus far, but apparently now the balance has been upset, and some new circumstances have made them decide to interfere.
I welcome you with outstretched hand. I trust you are here in good faith. May the gods look upon you kindly. All of the faithful are welcome here.
Anyway, here we are supposed to talk to Dawnbringer Sane, who is going to outline the mission for us.
The Morning Lord welcomes you to his sight.
And apparently an artifact has been stolen from this temple by the worshippers of Talos. They fear no retribution. The Morning Lord cannot suffer his relics in the hands of such evil. A spark of dawn has lit the way. Go to the filth of the slums at night and intercept the delivery of our dawn ring. Bring it back to its proper place. And yeah, to that effect we are supposed to talk to Travin at night in the slums. And we're going to get to that in this episode. But first, it's 10 AM, and it's a great situation where a couple of merchants are going to line up very nicely for our last, I think, thieving session in Athgatla. So we're first going to handle that, and for that to happen, we're going to first go to the Bridge District, where Mrs. Cragmoon should be available. And I think she stays until 11. Yeah, she's here. So we're going to take care of her goods first. And how many? We have 13 of these potions of Master Thievery, and we're going to get more. And also, so that nothing stupid happens, I'm not going to leave these on the ground, but I'm just going to switch these things around here. Alright, so that she has some space. And I'm going to use 5 potions to buff up her pickpocketing to 230, which is going to be more than enough for our needs. And as always, I'm not going to go all out when it comes to these potion vendors, because Mrs. Cragmoon is going to be our first target, and then we're also going to pay a visit to Roger Defense in the temple sewers. And then there's also a merchant that spawns only this one time. And there's going to be a certain event. But anyway, now that we're buffed up, let's check out her selection. She has a very nice one, especially when it comes to the quantities of certain potions that she has. For example, she has 10 potions of power, which are of course expensive and really nice potions. I'm not going to get all of them. Generally, like I said, I'm not going to go all out. I'm going to take just some potions that are going to be useful for us. But yeah, she has 10 potions of power, 10 oils of speed. She has some potions of Master Thievery, some strength potions. Yeah, some nice selection. I'm just going to take like maybe 2 more elixirs of health so that we're good on that antidote front. She has 6 potions of defense, and I am going to take all of those so that Kirinai has some nice potions to buff up with to not be so squishy. I'm going to take like 5 of these potions of power. We're probably not even going to use all of them anyway, but just so that we have them in our arsenal. I am going to take the potions of Master Thievery. And here, you know, I might even directly to our potion case, I might buy these 3 potions of Genius for a future scribing session. And I think we might also buy this 1 potion of Agility, so that Anomen's stack of those can grow. And in this episode we're actually going to get quite a few of those potions of Agility for him, so that he's going to be set until much later in the game, where we're going to get the gauntlets of Dexterity for him, so that he can have this nice armor class boost coming from Dexterity. But yeah, now we just need to sort these properly. These go to Jaheira, and these go to Senashira, and alright, that's it. And now we are in no hurry anymore, and we can go back to the temple district. Go into the sewers and have a little chat with our buddy Roger. And he has a great selection of potions, and if you wanted to go all out and just rob him of everything he has, you know, that would be a really big increase in your power. But I'm just going to take a couple of unique potions that he has. You know, he has a nice selection of potions of strength. He has some oils of fiery burning. He has potions of invulnerability and heroism. He has these 3 potions of clarity, which are really nice. Always nice to have, but we're primarily here for the potions of magic shielding. Those are just excellent, and also pretty rare potions, but they last for 3 turns. They of course make all of your saving throws automatically successful, and on top of all that they also give you 50% resistance to all forms of magical damage. So, you know, fire, cold, all of those. Those are just amazing potions. And I think I'm going to take these potions of magic protections as well. They are unique enough, I think, to take from him. And especially since you can actually stack them with one another, so you can get 100% magic resistance if you drink 2 of those. He has like 10 potions of extra healing, some more potions of master thievery. Yeah, so let's get to it. I'm just going to take 3 of his best strength potions. I am going to take maybe 2 of these, so that Kirinai has, well, let's get all of these potions of invulnerability, so that Kirinai has some defensive options. I'm going to take these potions of clarity, they are always nice to have. Maybe 1 more potion of defense. But yeah, primarily potions of magic shielding and potions of magic protection I'm going to take as well. And here we have the potions of master thievery for our future needs, and maybe a little bit more of these. Okay, her inventory is full. That's all right. That's going to be the extent of our thieving here. That was for Senashira. That was for Jaheira. Need to sort these nicely. And I am going to buy... Oh, he actually has potions of perception. Let's actually steal those. To round up our 250 pickpocketing for future stealing sessions. But yeah, now I'm going to buy the agility potions that he has. Oh yeah, of course, she has full... well, I guess I have to buy them like that. But Senashira had full inventory, but Kirinai doesn't. But anyway, I'm going to get those, and maybe even these potions of mind focusing. They are also useful to hold on to. And that's going to be it. Actually, let's get some potions of fire resistance. Alright, and that's it. Okay, now we're going to go to the City Gates district, because now, since this is not going to be our first visit in there, there's going to be a certain event with a merchant being harassed by a thug. Yeah, here we have that merchant and a thug named Hanj. And that thug, of course, is going to want to force some tribute out of that merchant, get some money out of him. But if we support him, he's just going to back down and leave. Yeah, I don't want no trouble. You can kill him, but that makes the guards here hostile, so I'm not going to do that. But anyway, he is supposed to leave. He's just going to despawn in a second. But anyway, if we talk to this merchant, we can access his inventory just this once before he leaves. So that's why I wanted to like do all of this in one go. I knew that fool was all bluster and no muster. Anyway, he has some decent scrolls. Not like too much. Okay, I was worried a little bit for a moment that I didn't clear out Kirinai's inventory, because, like I said, this is the only time that we can access his inventory. Once we close this this menu, he's just going to leave as well. Anyway, he is another source of a Find Familiar scroll. But I want to take a couple of these scrolls. He has 1 spell deflection, he has some contingency spells, And I might even get this Disintegrate and Chain Lightning for a certain mage we're going to get later. Some lower resistances are going to come in handy, and some breach spells are nice to hold on to in scroll form as well. Maybe even this Oracle. Alright, and I am also, now without any danger of getting caught stealing, because there's always that 1%, I am going to, I think, get these minor spell deflections. I'm just going to buy them, and protection from fire. And I think that's it. Alright, so as you can see now you can't talk to him anymore. He's just supposed to leave. Oh, also there's this one scene here.
Declare yourself.
With this smuggler, Bandon, trying to smuggle some spices into the city. Those are going to be the Black Lotus spices, I guess. Yeah, I think you will find my spices well worth it. It is especially difficult to acquire lotus petals of such a dark hue, almost black. It's like, you've got a deal. On your way then. Thank you very much, good sir. So yeah, the Black Lotus trade here. Now, of course, the guard and the different, government officials in Nefkatla, of course, are very corrupt. Anyway, now that we are done with all that, our next order of business is going to be to pass some time. And to that effect, we are going to rest twice, so as to reach night time. But along the way, we are going to also be able to identify some stuff, because we have set up Nalia with some identify spells. And speaking of whom, might also level her up. Alright, level 2, level 5 spells. Doesn't really matter all that much, but yeah, she has these 4 identifies, and we also have our glasses of identification. And also, let me just get these scrolls in proper order. I think I'm going to do something like that to store them. Now these are going to go to Jaheira, I think. This scroll case, and okay, go to this one as well. Right, now let's rearrange our inventory properly.
I can carry no more. What was given is now upon the ground.
Right, Animan, I just misclicked, okay? Don't be too mad. You can give him the Ring of Regen. And yeah, we have 3 identifications from our glasses and 4 from Nalia, so let's get to it. We have this Elven Cord Bow, which is from Diarni's Keep, from that Golem room. And unfortunately, because of the nerfs that Baldur's Gate 2 makes to all of the ranged weapons, it only gives us a +4 Thaco. It's a longbow +3, which normally if this was Baldur's Gate 1 or Icewind Dale, it would also give us +3 damage, which would make it a really nice bow. But alas. Anyway, here's Frost Reaver from that same room with the golems, and this is an excellent weapon, like +3 enchanted, 1 cold and 1 acid damage on the same weapon. This is just an excellent weapon if you have an axe user, to interrupt some mages, to deal some damage. Just great. Also, we can identify this. This is the Rod of Terror from that Lich that guarded Daystar, and this is a quarterstaff +3. Which is not that useful, because on hit it has that property that it can make someone flee in terror, but they are allowed a save versus spell at a +4 bonus, and also it has a chance to drain charisma very slowly, I guess. It's not that useful. And another wand from that same Lich with 10 charges, and here we can give maybe some stuff to... maybe finally we can identify that necklace. It's a necklace of form stability. It just improves your save versus polymorph with... largely it improves by 5, but it's not a very useful save. It's not often that it is used. And here we have the Kneecapper, also from Diarni's Keep, and from the sellers of Diarni's Keep we have Orc Leather. Not too impressive. This is going to all serve... for us, it's going to just be money. I mean, as excellent as Frost Reaver is, I'm not going to hold on to it. We're not going to have any use for that weapon in our party. Also, we are going to rearrange a little bit of our spells. I think I'm going to take this opportunity to set up a contingency for Senashira. We're going to go back to 2 Glitter Dusts on Edwin. And what else, Edwin? I think you're fine. Okay.
Without doubt.
I got some cheap beer.
And we're going to pass the time for a couple of reasons. First of all, we have that night mission for the Temple of Lathander, and we also need to progress time for a certain event in Nalia's questline to appear. I don't want to speed it up. I think it will progress in a nicer way, I think, without kind of spawning some creatures manually. I think if they just appear on their own, like they are supposed to, it's going to work out better. Okay, here we can identify some more stuff. We can give some things to Nalia. Alright, so we have these 2 small shields +2 from way back, from the temple sewers, our encounter with Tarner Hatchetman, and this was his weapon, Hangard's Axe +2. This is the returning Axe +2. And I don't know, maybe I'll hold on to this one just for a rare occasion. Maybe it can serve as a ranged option for some temporary party member that we're going to have. Not really sure on that, but might as well just kind of hold on to it for now. And yeah, Nalia. Yeah, Rashad's Talon. And this cursed scroll that we can finally drop. The Spear of the Unicorn from the Troll Mound in the Druid Grove. Nice immunity to Charm and Hold, but no use to us really. And also from the Druid Grove, here's Nasher that Dalok had in front of Faldorn's lair. And this is really nice because it has this like bleed property. I think it uses the bleed icon if you're affected by that. Basically, it deals piercing damage each round for 4 rounds. So this is really nice for like interrupting mages or casters in general. So I think I might hold on to it to like apply this first and then switch to Black Blood, which is basically like a better weapon in pretty much every way. It's a nice like kind of debuff to apply onto someone, but generally like Black Blood is the way to go when it comes to clubs. And I'm also going to sell this short sword. But yeah, there are some mods out there that actually take the opportunity to like use this Nasher as a crafting component to kind of like merge some of these different clubs into better versions, which is a pretty cool idea. Anyway, now let's set up this contingency for Seneshira. And you might have seen some contingency at work on enemy mages, but now we can make one ourselves. And basically you can set up different like conditions where it's supposed to go off, and since this is only the level 6 contingency, we can only target ourselves with it. With the level 9 chain contingency, we can actually target others, which is that is just an amazing spell. But anyway, I am going to select the condition helpless. Once we are, once Seneshira, it shouldn't happen ever, by the way, if I play well enough. She should never, we should never lose control of Seneshira, but just to make her extra safe, whenever that kind of thing happens, when she's, under these effects or similar ones, I am going to make her cast improved invisibility on herself. So once she gets in trouble and gets into that kind of a sticky situation, at least improved invisibility can be cast on her and give her a better chance of just surviving until we can get back control of her. Alright, so that's just an automatic thing that's going to be on her until it triggers.
Yes.
And also at this time we can set up Edwin's minor sequencer with double glitter dust. Just so he has that for the future. Alright, and now we're also going to cast some stone skins on our mages, because one more rest we're going to do, and not improved invisibility, I want stone skin, because one more rest and we're going to go into the night and do some stuff finally. But let's also sell some of these items to Bernard. Nalia has some. This scimitar was stolen, so he's not going to accept that, but we can sell pretty much everything else. I think it's pretty much it. Alright. And now, did I want to do anything else? Just double check, triple check quickly. I think that's it.
You want some whiskey?
Alright, so now it's going to be nighttime. Now it's 2 AM. And we are going to buff Seneshira with a little minor spell deflection. She should have some in her scroll case. But perhaps not. We have... oh yeah, they are all here. Okay, so I'm going to buff her up here, because since it's nighttime, there's going to be another encounter between the Shadow Thieves and the vampires. So she is going to do it like she always does for us, being protected against level drain, and now she's also protected by their single target domination spell. Oh, also, Dermin spawned.
Dermin? Is that you? It has been some time.
Indeed. It has been a very long time.
So this is a follow-up to Jaheira's quest line involving the Harpers. So yeah, Dermin apparently is her old teacher who introduced Jaheira to the Harpers, as she mentions here. But anyway, I am not here to rehash our friendship, Jaheira. I have been sent to kill you, or otherwise seek your downfall, and I do not relish the duty. I see. And what power has decided that I should be killed? Yeah, so he's going to, of course, explain that among the Harpers, she is seen as a killer of one of their own. I do not wish to think you had any complicity in those acts, but here she is, and she is still alive. Of course, talking about us, about Senashira. And we know nothing of this, that Galvare was in the wrong. There is only the fact that you and your friend were the cause of many deaths. This cannot be ignored. Yeah, Galvare sought to imprison Senashira for his own gain, and I took the side of right. I could do no other. So of course Jaheira stands by us. It is not seen that way, Jaheira. Exact the necessary justice. That is the only route to redemption for you. The others will not accept you otherwise. Yeah, so there are some conversation options that are going to basically make Jaheira leave forever. But if we're just going to, of course, trust her judgment here. I cannot do as you ask. You are in the wrong, as was Galvare. I was right to choose Senashira's side, and it is your loss if you cannot see this. Consider carefully what you are saying, child. You have a duty to justice. This is no justice. This is a revenge for a lie, a falsehood that none seem bothered to find the truth behind. If this is Harper justice, then I... What are you saying, Jaheira? If this is the justice you represent, then I renounce you. I renounce my life as a Harper. Jaheira, you cannot mean... Think this through. It would seem I am the only one that has thought any of this through. You do not, Galvare did not, and now the Harpers out for blood do not. I mourn many fellows of the Harp, but they died fighting for balance and truth. Galvare did not, and this matter cheapens their loss. I will not be party to it. So be it then. I will take your words to those that will listen. Do not expect your life to be peaceful with this choice. Yeah, so this is some powerful, heavy stuff, because now Jaheira, of course, this is, very difficult for her. She's not going to want to speak more about it, but of course she has, now renounced a large part of her life, part of her, identity, I guess. Yeah, like Dermin said, our life is not going to be easy after this choice was made by Jaheira. There are going to be more encounters with the Harpers in the future. And of course, Jaheira shows that she is a true friend, basically like a member of our family, just stands by us, regardless of what happens. Anyway, here there's going to be Traven nearby, and also a spawn point for one of these events.
I am the predator that lives amongst you.
Predator. So here's Parissa trying to convince a Shadow Thief to join her guild, but he is not going to cooperate. So she is going to resort to some vampire tricks. Anyway, this is the 4th event, by the way, and there are 5 in total, so we are getting there. Also, there are some mods that restore 3 more of those, I think. He actually saved versus spell, saved versus her domination. If he doesn't save, he goes hostile immediately, but he is going to go hostile anyway, because this is supposed to play out that way. You cannot dispel this domination on him, you can't charm him yourself, there's nothing that we can do. We have to fight both of them. And of course, since we are allied with the Shadow Thieves, she says that she knows of us. I fear you are in the wrong place at the wrong time, and certainly acting for the wrong side. This is the fate for all of you. Yeah, so of course we're going to do this business with Senashira. I'm going to kill the vampire first, and then the others are going to join to dispose of that Shadow Thief. So yeah, that's why we pre-buffed with some stone skins, and because of that minor spell deflection, you know, Senashira is protected against domination, and now we can have others join in. And boom! There's nothing really to gain from that. But anyway, here is our buddy Traven. Can't a man walk the streets at night without being bothered? Anyway, so we can play along here that apparently we are the agents of the Talassans. And he actually wants to make a quick buck here by trying to sell us some information. But if we, you know, call his bluff, I guess, we're not going to have to pay anything. And he sends us to Borinol. He's the man. I'm just the contact. I'm very, very sorry.
Yes?
Anyway, so here is Borinol's home on top of the copper coronet. And I think I didn't open the door here. And inside there's going to be a little encounter. Might throw in a bless, I guess. But other than that, we're not going to buff up with anything else. So here's Borinol. Yeah, I ain't got time for you. You'll make time. You've got something that belongs to me. So says that worm Traven. That would be the Dawn Ring, would it not? I shall be glad to be rid of it. I have felt the eyes of the Celestial upon me each and every minute I have had it. Just one more simple test before you go. I don't have time for games. But yeah, he's going to ask us a very important question. He's going to want us to swear our devotion to Talos to make sure that we are, you know, who we are supposed to be. And he explains that, of course, it will be not a problem for a servant of Talos, but if we are not the followers of Talos, you know, swearing falsely, like fealty to a divinity, can actually result in some dire consequences. And here, you know, basically this always results in a fight, because if we are not servants of Talos and we, you know, assure him that we are, lightning is actually going to strike us down, and I'm going to select this this option here. So, you know, through that he's going to know that we're not the Talassans and he's going to fight us. And of course, if we say it plain that we're, you know, from the Lathander Temple and whatnot, of course this is going to result in a fight as well. But the thing is, from my test, it seems like if we just say that we work with the Morning Lord's Temple and whatnot, it's going to be him and some of his invisible backstabbing thief buddies. But if we actually falsely swear fealty to Talos, a mage is also available, making the fight a little harder. So I'm going to choose this option, and I think it's also, you know, a little funnier. Edwin actually got struck by lightning. Yeah, Divine Wrath is usually subtle. A little bad luck here, a curse or two there, but Talos, he's a god that means business. Yeah, so unfortunately it was Edwin that got struck by lightning. Although he does have stone skin, so he is protected against those backstabs. There's going to be a couple of these thieves. Borinol, and as you can see there's a mage here. That wouldn't be here if we just told him, told Borinol that we work for the Lathander Temple. But anyway,
Yes?
let's allow him to get his pre-buffs. Alright, so he has Minor Globe, Minor spell Turning, Improved Invisibility. I think we can throw in some Remove Magics, and probably get rid of his protections that way. Jaheira, yeah, they all go. Okay, he cast actually protection from magical weapons, and Borinol, and there's a couple of more of those guys, these thugs that are going to backstab us. Okay, you have your melee weapon out.
Certainly.
Oh, I cancelled Senashira's spell. Of course, she was supposed to cast that remove magic. Fortunately, we have one more. So let's just deal with these guys in the meantime, because Edwin's remove magic was not successful. Okay, but Senashira's one was. So all of his protections are dispelled now. the protections that remove magic dispels, and that dispels protection from magical weapons, stone skin, his invisibility, mirror images, as you can see. Just the spell protections it doesn't. So he still has that minor spell turning and that minor globe, but we will be able to hit him now with our attacks. So let's just try and interrupt him from range, I guess, before he finishes that cast. I think, okay, that's remove magic. Kiranai needs to switch to some melee weapons and fight with these backstabbing thugs. Actually, Edwin might cast one glitter dust over there. Right, he actually has a contingency with stone skin. So let's actually have Jaheira there.
I stand amongst the righteous.
Yes?
What should I fetch now?
Oh, Senshir is blocked here. Okay, so he casts Teleport Field, which is going to make it a little more difficult to get to him in melee. Okay, Edwin doesn't have his stone skin anymore, so we need to reapply that and just get him out of there, out of that situation. Alright, the mage is finally down.
Without hesitation.
I need to heal Kiranai. She was the main target of all of these backstabs, so she tanked quite a few of them. And there's still like one more guy at least. Yeah, he's over there. Of course the teleport field just keeps teleporting us. But it basically like encompasses the whole room, basically, so just have to wait it out. He still wants to backstab Kiranai. Alright, there he is. Should have been actually detecting invisibility with Kiranai. But anyway, this is it. This is the fight. And we're going to be able to loot the Dawn Ring off of Borinol's corpse, and some actually decent potions from these other guys. That's cool. And there's some like really minor goodies in the containers. There's also a Warhammer +1, I think, in the stable. Can identify that.
Speak. Yes? Sir. Yes. What is it? Direct me as you will.
Alright, teleport field. This is the end of your shenanigans. A nice globe of invulnerability scroll. Just minor loot. Okay, and now we're done with that. And our next order of business is actually going to be to rest again. Also, can change that. Yeah, we're going to rest again to pass the time. And in the next episode, it seems, we're going to continue Nalia's questline, because now, once we rest again, this is going to be the next day after the funeral, and something big is going to happen revolving around Nalia and Isaiah Rowanol. So we're going to get to that in the next episode. And for now, I thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you next time.